One common criticism people have about the MPF program is the higher fees, and in part due to the paper transactions, the amount of volume that you do get that adds to your costs. How does this EMPF structure now change the economics for you?
Right. Thanks, Yvonne and David, for giving me some time to talk about this centralized platform, which the government has tasked the EMPFA to actually own and operate and run it for the launch of this entire 4 million users electronic platform in 2022. Interestingly, you mentioned about 14 trustees and 12 IT platforms. This is exactly what they have been operating on. So you can imagine if you want to transfer things around, you actually have to wait for about 2 to 3 weeks before you can actually transfer your accounts and consolidate your accounts. We just mentioned about there are 4 million members in the system, but we are nearing 10 million accounts because people change jobs and forget where they actually put their money in, and they start changing jobs again, and then they leave more accounts behind. So with the EMPF Centralized Platform, you'll be able to have a one-click approach to see where your accounts are within your 45 years in the system. So that's a major, I think, objective we need to achieve, as well as because you can move things around, there will be higher pricing pressure on your existing trustees, because now you're kind of a captive audience, if you know what I mean. You just sit there and there's a lot of inertia, and you think about you have to fill in the form, wait 2 to 3 weeks to get transferred. What would you do? You stay put, right?
So the switching costs are higher. So when you look at the fee structure, and I think PwC had a report out a couple of, as of 2017, and they looked at fees in Hong Kong, pension funds. It's actually quite high here. So what you're saying is that more a function of admin costs, or is that because of the fee structure of these 14 trustees? Is it a lack of competition, or is it something we can improve on from the back end?
Actually, this is both.
Okay.
We talk about administration costs because of the amount of paper checks processed each month, and it's mandatory, so it has to be precise on time. And it took a lot of manual labor for the trustees to process them. That's the upfront labor cost. But at the same time, there is lack of competition or moving around, put it this way, because of members' inertia. So if you have the platform, you can actually achieve both in one go.
And what does it do in terms of net returns then? Because some are saying even your returns in Hong Kong, you might as well just buy the Hang Seng Index and you actually could beat. And some people are saying, look, this only benefits more low-income earners versus high-income earners because this 1,500 Hong Kong dollar monthly contribution that they do have is very limiting. What do you say to that?
That's the basic protection scheme, put it this way. So that's why the government actually has, from this year onwards, on the 1st of April, we will have the tax-deductible voluntary contributions. So middle income or more affluent members, they can actually put extra money in, and that amount could be subject to tax deduction up to 60,000 Hong Kong dollars. So for the middle and upper level income people, they would get the benefit from the tax incentive. The more basic income people, they get the basic protection. But with the centralized platform, we think there will be huge potential for this market to develop into more full-blown retirement planning savings system, because everybody could have the little handheld on their smartphone and say, okay, let me save a bit more, even $5 or $6, you can do it in one click. Now you actually have to do more filling in forms and putting in the checks, which kind of deterrent. So we hope that would change the entire ecosystem and the behavioral pattern of people how to save for themselves. And you look at other countries, they actually have similar experience, like Kenya, like Mexico. They actually do all this, what we call microfinance payments and micro savings just at one click. So I hope that I'm appealing to all the audience in Bloomberg, whether it's you global, regional, or based in Hong Kong, please do come and talk to us. We will be closing our registration for our request for information end of this week. So if you want to look at the deck of user specifications and join in as a tech company, give us your response. Please come in and register with us before the end of this week so that you could tell us what is the best possible technology and business solutions.
Final question to you. 14 trustees. I know you are not thinking about managing the money yourself, so you're outsourcing that as well. Are there? I mean, the number 14, is that too few or too many?
Right. Interestingly, if you think about the platform, what they can achieve is to decouple the infrastructure from the product or fund providers in future. Now, in order to enter into the MPF market, you need to have the infrastructure of the scheme administration platform yourself, the 12 IT system, one of them. In the future, you don't actually have to own that platform, right? So you just get plugged in into the central platform. It could well be bringing about more competition, better pricing, more providers of pension solutions or funds. So we see that this is actually not just an IT project, but more of quite a big changer or disruptor to the current system.